Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Leah Reviews. And of course, I am going to be reviewing episode 6 of Sonic Presents the Chaotix Case Files. So yeah, this one's a very, I just love how this audio drama is going so far. It has like a lot of different twists and turns, for one and foremost. And I think, starting this episode, Vector is kind of like, hey, Eggman, do you think I could just just actually go and do this, and take a nap? And he's like, no, no, no. Eggman's like, I want to, it's like, we're getting to the good part, So I think with, with what they have done for, like Eggman's like, don't stop now, and I just like how Eggman is really so into this story that Vector is telling, and it's very telling. So, and then right after Eggman's like, I'm not letting you sleep. You need to literally just like continue the story because, like, oh, this is where you guys are gonna meet my daughter Sage. And yes, Sage is in this episode. Um, I think, it was another solid episode. Like I said, there has been like not like I have like nothing bad to say about this audio drama. Of course, shout out to Ryan Bartley. Phenomenal job as always as Sage. You know, I think with what they've done for this audio drama is just phenomenal. I enjoy the writing, the story, where it's taking us. Obviously Vector, Charmy, and Espio end up, at the coordinates that General gave to them in the previous episode. So at first they're kind of like, is this really an Eggman base? Because kind of like how they point out that Eggman usually, he always likes to make a big statement and call attention to himself, and that's how you would know it's an Eggman base. So I think with everything, they're kind of calling that out, and then Eggman's like, seriously, you really have to like say that type of comment at this time. So I think when they're kind of like interruptions in the story, I think it's really solid and hilarious. So I think I was really blown away with what they done. Obviously, there was like obviously Vector like tells SVO to scout the base to see if he can find anything. Meanwhile, Vector is trying to figure out how to get more information because obviously they're trying to figure out the who's the thief of the astroscopic lens. And I think, this is where Vector and Charmy meet Sage. And obviously I think the robot comes after them first. And before Sage appears. And I think what was really cool is that Charmy tried to use a stinger. Obviously, it wasn't working. And then Vector's like, oh, you know that move that Sonic and Tails always use? He's like, let's try to do that. So Vector and Charmy actually do like that specific move that Sonic and Tails do. And it does destroy the mech that was like coming after them. And then this is where like Sage comes in and introduces herself and she's like, "Oh, you are two of the members of the Chaotix Detective Agency, aren't you?" And then Vector's like, "Yeah, how do you know that?" And she's like, "Oh, I have like extensive records about you guys." Um, so basically Vector Sage introduces herself to Vector and Charmy because obviously they didn't know who Sage was. So she explains, "Oh, I'm in charge of like Dr. Eggman's like Eggnet. So I have like control of all the mechs." And Vector's like, "Oh, snap." And Vector and Charmy are like, they just go where Sage can't really hear them, like, okay, maybe we need to figure out what's so we can get some information, about the Red Spectre, because that was like earlier on in the audio drama. So Vector decides to ask Sage about, we need some like information. That's why we're in this space, and Sage is like, what type of information? And then Vector's like, oh, we're here to like figure out who's the thief in stealing the astroscopic lens. So Sage like does kind of does digging into like Eggman's database about this, and apparently she finds like um it's in a file and called the Phantom, I think. Um and then I think what ends up happening is that Sage cannot access the file contents, which is interesting. So I'm wondering if Eggman is like hiding something, because I wouldn't put it past if like, because they're really building it up, because I'm very curious to know who is the thief, you know. And then Vector's like, oh, Phantom is just another word for Spectre, right? So it's like, I mean, you're not wrong. So I wouldn't be surprised, um who this is, because like, could it be like an interesting red herring? Like, because Eggman is so enthralled, throughout these episodes, that he's enthralled in this story, and he's like, astroscopic lens, or could it be like very obvious that it was Eggman, or it could be like someone else. Like, like it's kind of hard to put the clues together. So, um, like Sega hasn't really said how many episodes of this are there. So I'm very curious to know, is the suspect, or going to be someone unexpected, or is it someone that was kind of obvious from the very beginning? So I'm very intrigued to see where this is going. And of course, meanwhile with like Espio, he runs, he finds like this, I guess, this plant thing that kind of has like a ventilation shaft, and then Rouge scares him again. Rouge keeps popping up in this audio drama a lot. Um, um, and then Rouge said, "Oh, I came from like Eggman's old base." So I'm like, okay. And apparently, they have a little chat, and then Rouge tries to do the invitation again of like, oh yeah, why don't we just go investigate together? And SBO's like, why do you keep insisting me to leave Vector and Charmy? And um, so yeah, like Rouge is so unclear about that. Like she never explains why she wants SBO to leave Vector and Charmy. But then SBO hears a noise that like, oh, a mech is coming. So he runs back to like warn Vector and Charmy that a like mech is like coming. And then Sage is like, oh, is that your third member that's coming? SBO the chameleon, right? And Vector's like, yeah, yeah. Um, and then of course, Eggman comes inside the mech, obviously, and then like Vector's like, wait, what's he doing here? Is like, oh, I think he's like mad that you guys tried to snoop around. Um, and so what ends up happening is that Vector tells Espio to take Charmy with him while he keeps Segman distracted. And then up so they, I guess, from a pretty good distance, they left or something. And then like Eggman fires missiles at Vector. He tries to dodge them, and then it kind of leads into this sequence where like it looks like Vector was like knocked out, and then we can infer this is the point where Sonic, Vector ends up in the cell, you know, ends up in a cell alongside Sonic, because you can hear Sonic at the end of the episode. So I think this audio drama is really great at retelling, retelling events from point A to point B. And I kind of like how the episode ends on that. And it's a really great way to see, oh, like is the mystery going to be solved in the next two episodes? I don't know. Because they're really building this up and I really enjoyed with what they done. Um, so so yeah, like hats off to Sega. You guys are super amazing people to bring this audio drama to life. And but yeah, I'm very happy with what they have done for this audio drama. And yeah, that's the end of my review. I'm super excited to see the next episode next Tuesday. So just to hear what happens next, because I'm a huge mystery person, and having an audio drama based on mystery is just it's like cherry on the top. But yeah, that's the end of my Leah reviews. So for those who don't know, I actually did a recent interview with Ashlyn Madden, the voice of Tangle the Lemur, on March 1st, 2026. It is on my YouTube channel, and um yeah, and you get to hear me interviewing her of her experiences being casted for Tangle the Lemur and being part of the Sonic family. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that bell notifications for upcoming live streams and video content. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.